Hey Virgo, welcome back to my channel. This will be a reading entitled How Do They Feel About You? A 4-card spread having a look to see how your love interest is feeling around the current period of March. This can be an ex, this can be someone you're currently attached to, this can be someone who you are trying to connect with here, Virgo, and hopefully the messages can relay a little bit of insight into what this person is thinking and feeling about you, and of course your connection together. So if you enjoy this content, please feel free to leave behind a like, a share, or a subscribe. That would be very much appreciated. Otherwise, this reading can be for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. The cards will be read as a story to see what comes up. Oh, okay. Interesting energies that have come up around this person here, Virgo. Look, what really comes to mind first and foremost as I read these cards as a story is that someone sees something in you, but they're holding back a little bit. And the reason why they're holding back is because they've possibly have something else happening around them, or they've been single for quite some time. Now, for those of you that this person has had a lot of independence or autonomy in their life, Virgo, they see a new opportunity in you, but they're a little bit fearful of it. And I feel for a lot of you, it's someone that's been in their comfort zone for a very, very, very long time, Virgo. Now, whether this comfort zone meant that this person was independent, they were single, they never had to sort of report to anyone, they haven't had to share their sort of feelings before. They've come into an energy of complacency, okay? I feel like with the Four of Swords, they've been out of the dating game, or they've been out of relationships for a while, at least the sort of long-term committed one that you might be after, okay? So I'm sensing that this person might not necessarily be ready. That doesn't mean they don't have feelings for you, okay? They feel very, very attracted to you. You've got 3 fire cards here which indicate passion and lust, and the Ace of Wands is a very opportunistic time. And because that Ace of Wands is handled by the hand of God, this person definitely sees you having come into their life, having come into their experience for a very significant reason. So this says to me this person understands your value and understands your potential. But the fact is, there's someone that's been out of the game for a while, or they've been in a bit of a sleep or a slumber here. And it could be why they feel a little bit hesitant or fearful to get things going. They're at a very protective stage here. I don't know if they've recently had some sort of loss in love, but they're definitely still feeling that heightened emotion, and that would definitely explain those barriers and those guards being up. Now, we must read into the psychology of why people act this way here, Virgo, and I sort of want to dissect that, which I'm sure you'll come to appreciate. The reason why people display behaviors of putting up walls is that this is their defense mechanism to prevent you from hurting them, or preventing you from gaining in on their vulnerabilities. Now, if they weren't aware that on some level the connection was strong enough, or they liked you enough, they didn't like you enough to know that you could penetrate through these barriers, they would not be so defensive about it. So I'm not sure if this sounds a little bit counterintuitive, Virgo, but what I want to get at is that this person is purposely putting up their walls because of the emotions they're having about you already. Especially if this is fairly new, okay, new beginnings, new ventures, new starts, which the Magician can bring. And especially if your meeting has been fairly quickly, or developments in this connection and or relationship have been progressing at a very, very swift rate, okay? This person feels they need to protect themselves. Now, because the Magician, is conquest and challenge and victory and instant energy and connection and spirituality, they definitely have a lot of strong emotions for you, and they see you as a little bit of a challenge in some ways. But in some aspects, there's a challenging dynamic to your connection and or relationship, and this person is feeling it in the period of March. Now, the Magician was also seen as the manipulator, and the one who is revered for his talents. So in a way, I want to interpret that if this person is exhibiting this sort of behavior, they know that you've got admirers, Virgo. They know that people are keeping tabs on you. Maybe someone else has said you're attractive. Maybe someone else says, I used to date this person. The Magician breeds admiration or adoration. And because this is coming up, I sense that this person feels maybe there's a little bit of competition. Okay? And maybe that's why they haven't acted as much, but I definitely feel there's a major turning point in March. I do feel like the cards are indicating a surge of energy is going to come up, and it's coming through the Magician, and you're going to see a lot of feelings from this person that you hadn't previously seen before. So what I want to get at is that something is going to change for this person. Something on their end is about to change emotionally or mentally. Now, it could go one of two ways. It could be that they wake up, they finally realize your value, they stop being slow, and they suddenly come out with all this energy. They start offering you a lot of dates. They start telling you their deepest, darkest secrets. They start putting offers out on the table, which is what the Magician brings. They take that wand in their hand and they move forward with you, whatever that means for your connection and or relationship. It could also go in another way here, Virgo. It could also be reversed. If this person has been showcasing that sort of Magician energy, has been really trusting, has been really open, is adamant to get things going, especially at that swift rate, you may see that things slow down a little bit. They may have come on very strong, okay, the ace, and the Magician, and then suddenly they're going to back down. They're going to grow protective, possessive. And we must realize that this change in behavior is possibly either internal, so it's something to do with them, but more often than not, it's an action or a course of behavior or a conversation you have or something that you do, whether consciously or subconsciously, that is going to affect how this person behaves and the way things take shape. So I do feel like there is a major shift, okay, that's happening for this person. But I do sense that they are thinking about you quite a lot. The tomb effigy here can be showing someone that's in a dream-like state. So it's either this person is having dreams or even memories of you. Especially if you've sort of fallen out of contact and have laid communication to rest, laid the swords to rest. If you've been protective over each other, like you haven't let each other back in your lives. You haven't let them know what's changed with you, where you're living, what work you're doing, what's new in your life. If you've been very protective over those sorts of changes and things, this could be certainly very applicable for you here, Virgo. But I do sense that there is someone here who is feeling that way. But it's opposing energy. And why? Because Magician is the Aries, the Roman god of conflict and opposition. There's something that they could disagree with on you here, or there's a disagreement or an opposition or an adverse, circumstance that happened, and this person is still thinking about it. The Four of Swords says to me that there's a lot of dwelling and a lot of thought that's going into your relationship, or thoughts of you that's coming up from this person towards you. So you're definitely dominating their thoughts a lot. Maybe it's something you did, maybe it's something you said. Whether or not this person necessarily agrees with it or not, remember the Magician can be quite deflective and opposing. It could indicate that this person is still very much thinking about that. It's also something to do with new beginnings or a new opportunity. So that could explain why this person is a little bit hesitant. The Magician can represent, as the number one, a new major milestone. Maybe this is something you've proposed to this person, moving in together, changing your relationship statuses, meeting each other's children, meeting each other's families, going out on a double date, introducing this person to your friends. There's something new, a new experience that this person is really, really dwelling about. And if it's not you that's proposed this, Virgo, then I sense that they might come out with it and offer that, because that's what the Ace of Wands. They're going to take the opportunity when it comes up during a conversation, or maybe whilst you're at a certain setting or at a certain place where it seems relevant. And they might bring that up. They might bring up the topic. They might do some sort of course of action here. They might have been thinking about doing it for quite some time here, Virgo. And you might definitely see them take that change or take that opportunity. Remember, Ace of Wands is here. take that opportunity to act on something that they've been thinking about doing or saying to you. And I do feel like that has to do with some sort of major shift emotionally, mentally, psychologically, that's happening on their end, and that's going to come to surface, that's going to come to fruition during this period around March, I think, okay, for the most part. So, I mean, it will be very interesting to see, Virgo, but best of luck with it. Thank you again so much for tuning in. It really, really does mean a lot. Don't forget to leave behind a like, a share, or a subscribe. Otherwise, I'll catch you very, very soon. So I hope you have a fabulous March, Virgo. Take care, lots of love, and bye for now.